Class, I'm Mrs. Ng here. Today we are continuing chapter 7 Nutrition Plants, lesson 3. Okay, so far we had the first two lessons. We talk about what is exactly photosynthesis, what are the factors affecting rate of photosynthesis by using experiments, the different experiments to let us understand more about what are the factors that will affect the rate of photosynthesis. Moving on, for today's lesson, we are learning about what are limiting factors, right? Very important. Can you remember what is the equation for photosynthesis? All right. Okay. We must have carbon dioxide, we must have water, and with the help of the sun energy and the chlorophyll, we will be able to get our glucose and oxygen. Now, so what are we going to learn? What are the learning outcomes for today's lesson? So there are two learning outcomes. First, we will learn about the different factors which affect the rate of photosynthesis in diagram form, in graphical graph, examples of different graphs. And the second learning outcomes, right, we will discuss in depth how the different factors can limit the rate of photosynthesis. We're using an aquatic plant setup. Okay, these two URL given here, I will be using them later during the lesson as well. Okay, first question. So I give you this example of this factory. This responsible to make our chairs and our tables. Okay, so if we actually use this factory and compare to photosynthesis, so what would the following represent? That means the wood. What do you think the wood represent? Okay, the nail represent, the factory represent, the generator, the electricity source represent, the chair and the table. What do all these represent if I compare to the the photosynthesis process? Okay, so in fact, the wood actually represent like our carbon dioxide, and the nail is like the water, and with the help of the machine, which is a chlorophyll, and a generator, the electricity is similar to the sun energy. We're able to get our products, which are oxygen and glucose. But in the case of the factory over here, the products are chair and tables. Now, so what are the raw materials or reactants required for photosynthesis? I think at this junction, all of you are very familiar with what are the raw materials. There are carbon dioxide and water, and the conditions will be we need to have a suitable amount of light, chlorophyll, okay, and the end products will be glucose and oxygen, right? So if applies like a factory, how do we measure how much products is produced? In other words, how do we measure the rate of photosynthesis? Okay, so again, these are the different factors affecting photosynthesis. We know that carbon dioxide concentration is important. The amount of light, the light intensity is also important. Temperature will definitely affect the rate of photosynthesis as well. Right. So now back to the factory, the furniture factory. So imagine light, the sunlight is like electricity which power the factory. So what happens to the rate of production when there's very little power or no power at all? What do you think will happen? Do you think I'm still able to get my chairs and tables? If I didn't pay the electrical bills, I don't have electricity now. Do you think I'm able to get my chairs and tables? The answer is quite obvious, right? It's actually no. So if I illustrate with this in a form of graph, so you can see that as I increase the amount of light intensity, like from 100 to 200 to 300, the amount of products in the form of bubbles, oxygen produced, will gradually increase as well. Now,